to the AFC West Roundtable, a weekly live show featuring top-tier insight and analysis on all things AFC West. From the best creators in the division, including Denver Broncos creator Ryan, Kansas City Chiefs creator Marcus, Las Vegas Raiders creator Samoan, and Los Angeles Chargers creators Bolt Bros. Catch the AFC West Roundtable every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on the AFC West Roundtable YouTube channel. What is going on, AFC West Roundtable, and welcome back into another episode. Today, we are going to be recapping everything that happened here in Week 7, and boy, oh boy, what a crazy week it was for Week 7. I mean, the Denver Broncos epic comeback, one of the best I think the league has ever seen. I mean, blown out in the fourth quarter, then coming back, shocking Jackson Dart. We have all seen the picture. And then, of course, Marcus, your Chiefs are back here on the rise, blowing out the Raiders in, of course, classic Kansas City Chiefs fashion. So much more to get into, and of course, all of that. But before we do so, let's go around the table and let's see how the guys are feeling now heading into Week 8. Ryan, buddy, we're going to start off with you because you are on the top, baby. Welcome.
Dude, I feel bittersweet. You know, it was great that we won. But if you watch the whole game, those first three quarters were horrendous. Yeah. Some of the worst football I have seen in years. Like, probably goes back to that Thursday night football game against the Matt Ryan Colts. That was like so bad. But they got the win, and it was amazing, and they prevailed. So hopefully they learn from their mistakes. I don't know if they will. I'm speaking of the offense. But I'll take the win. I'll take the win.
Hey, a win is what matters at the end of the day, right? You're not going to necessarily care how you get it as long as you do. But, you know, Ryan, my question for you is that, again, looking at the fact that you guys were blown out heading into the fourth quarter, and then you score over 30 points in order to come back, a nail-biter there at the end. Bo Nix puts on the cape in some Josh Allen fashion to play superhero football to get you guys this win. Understanding that it is the Giants. I think the Giants are a team that do have talent. They're on the rise. We're trying to figure out what they are. But are you scared heading into maybe some more scarier competition for the rest of the season against higher caliber teams? And more specifically, heading into the postseason, do you still feel like this is a Denver Broncos team that you have confidence can still get a win in the postseason?
As long everywhere else, yes. But this offense, as long as they just continue to do this dumb shit, I have no confidence in them because they're week to week. They're truly week to week. They like spank the Bengals good. I mean, credit to the Giants. They have a very good D line. Like, they're batting balls all day. Jackson Dart, solid QB. I'm not going to crown him or anything, but I'm saying he did play very well in that game. The refs were also kind of screwing us, and there's a whole story there now. I'm not going to say, like, obviously we won the game, but we won the game, and I'm still going to say it. The refs were like awful, like very bad. Like, multiple other people or analysts across the NFL, former players, were like not Broncos affiliated. We're even saying like that was a terrible call. I don't know if you guys saw like the Riley Moss defensive pass interference. Yeah. But no, I don't have too much faith in this offense because they haven't shown me any consistency. I only have faith when Bo Nix has a loaded gun to his head because he seems to perform then.
Hey, man, how's that clutch factor? So as long as you guys can get back on track, you know, as long as you guys can show up starting quarter 1 and not starting quarter 4, you guys can certainly figure it out. But Andrew, let's go on over to you, man. Someone got the title wrong. It said you guys won at first, but you guys actually did end up losing. Andrew didn't want me to change the title. He actually tried to send me a Slack message behind the scenes. Yo, man, I'll slip you a 20 if you just keep the title as a win. Unfortunately, Andrew, it was another loss for you guys. And we just had Ryan here talking about how he feels his Denver Broncos offense is week to week. But it feels like ever since you guys got your first loss, the Chargers have also been week to week. What's going on with you guys?
Yeah, it's been a little disappointing. I mean, not even a little bit disappointing. By the way, I was at the game with James, okay? The other bro. I was there, and it was, like, embarrassing. You know, Samoan, the Chargers and the Raiders, we can skip our proctology exam. Dr. Jellyfinger came early, and we are good to go this year. We got our ass kicking pretty good. Having said that, the defense for the Chargers is just abysmal. They gave up 40 points. And, guys, the Colts scored 100% in the red zone. Say that for a second. 100%. They got in the red zone. They scored every single time. Now, secondarily, the Chargers scored 75% in the red zone, which is pretty good. Having said that, they were abysmal the whole first half of the football game. They scored 3 points the first half and then scored 24 the second half. So, look, like, again, I could talk injuries. They're just excuses, but the defense just looks lost, befuddled. It's confusing. I think some people are saying that we lost Alohi Gilman was traded to the Raiders, or not the Raiders, excuse me, the Ravens.
Yeah.
And we got Adofe Owe or Big O. He was kind of calling the formations and the protection schemes and working the passing off of, routes and so on and so forth. So I think some people are saying that. Also, Elijah Molden was out. So the argument is that somebody's not making decisions on where people need to be, and that's why the defense looks so bad. Guys, I'm telling you right now, I was at the game. I could not believe you could fly a jumbo jet through that offensive line right there. I mean, anyone could have ran all over the Chargers that day, and it was embarrassing for the defense. Derwin James at the end of the game was practically in tears. He was like not happy, and he was our leading scorer and our leading tackler. Interestingly, DJ also leads the league in missed tackles this year with like 6 or 7, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, the defense is a mess. I think the offense can score points, but the defense has got to find a way to just be decent, stop the team a little bit. Yes. And Dr. Jellyfinger came early. Thank you, Derek and Brandon. I appreciate that.
Well, Andrew, let's look glass half full here, because at the very least, you guys still are in the playoff picture. Now, the percentage is dwindling down every single week, but you guys are still in it. You got over a 50% chance. So at least there's something to certainly hang your hat on. But Marcus, let's go down to you, man. Look, you've been telling everyone, look, we're down right now, but we are down because we're missing several players on the offensive side of the football. You guys are starting to get those players back, and you're starting to see this offense certainly come to life. And my big question for you, Marcus, is right now there's already that MVP conversation. I mean, we're talking Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Drake May, and a lot of people have Patrick Mahomes as the MVP favorite right now. Unbiasedly speaking, as best you can, is that something that you do agree with?
Yeah, man, I don't see why not. I mean, the only thing you're going to hold it against him is his record. I mean, and we're starting to see things come together. And obviously, the MVP is the season-long award, not just the first 7 games. But the stats are there. And if we keep winning and you keep seeing the offense continue to coexist like they have been over the last few weeks, then I definitely think there's a case to be made. I mean, I think he is the odds-on favorite as of right now. Should have got all it 2 weeks ago. I think it was like plus 400 like 2 weeks ago. Now it's like plus 130. Wow. So yeah, it's really? Depending on the sports book, but I think I saw FanDuel earlier was plus 130. So yeah, I mean, I do think, if everything continues the way it is right now, I think he should be an MVP pretty easily.
Wow. All right, guys, let us know what you think about the MVP race so far. Do you guys also think it's Patrick Mahomes or not? Let us know in the comments. Come on, let's go on over to you, man. You don't think so, Ryan?
Come back.
Dude, I mean, I think Daniel Jones is playing much better football. I mean, but okay, he could be comeback player. You're just saying situation, but realistically, who's playing better football? I'd give it to Daniel Jones. Not saying Mahomes isn't playing good football, but Daniel Jones is just playing that good right now.
He's also behind an amazing offensive line. I mean, good Lord.
You can't like bang him for that though.
Yeah, well, that's true. I agree 100%. Yeah.
Well, it's definitely going to come down to a race because there's a lot of quarterbacks playing good football. And let's be honest, MVP is it's quarterback award. That's just what they should call it at this point. It's no other position's getting it. It is what it is. But Simone, let's go down to you, man. Okay, we want to give you an opportunity to talk. Okay, free therapy. Yeah. It's been rough for you guys all season. We know that. You guys have watched the show. You know Simone's down pretty bad, but this one's a little bit different. You guys got blown out by an in-division rival, man. So maybe a little bit of extra sting to this one.
Oh, no, definitely. Well, I know a quarterback that's not going to be winning MVP is definitely Geno Smith. That motherfucker is trash. And you guys try to warn me, man.
Welcome to the party.
Ryan tried to warn me. Everybody's trying to warn me. I get it. I know. Damn, man. I try to have a little bit of hope in this damn team, but we fucking suck, man. Like, and we got to enjoy 1 week of a win. That's why I told a lot of Raider fans last week, don't be mad about that win. Let's enjoy it because we don't know when we're going to get that again. But, I knew it was going to be competitive going into this game. But damn, it just seemed like the team didn't even show up, and I barely even got to see my offense on the field. And I feel like this would have stung a lot more if I was watching it at home. But the Raiders actually threw their very first watch party at the facility. Ooh. I don't know why they chose this game out of all the games to have a watch party. They should have had like a therapy session over there for this game, knowing how it was going to end up. But yeah, it's It's tough, man, especially being on this whole panel and then everybody talk about, Ryan's always criticizing his team, but they're sitting at top, man. And we got more problems over here in Las Vegas. And like, I just want to, it's not even about winning games. It's about just being competitive. And of course, the Chiefs coming into town, man, they definitely dog walked us. And I thought it would have been a little bit closer, but yeah, I know I'm gonna get into a lot more. I mean, this offense couldn't do anything, man. Like they were barely even on the field. But I feel like I said earlier, I would have been more pissed off if I was watching it at home, live streaming it. But I was actually at the facility, having fun, eating food, playing with the inflatables. I mean, not like that, but like they had like little bounce houses.
What's going on at the stadium? Things get wild down in Vegas.
That would have been more fun and more entertaining than watching the game.
I guess so. Yeah, whatever it takes to feel better.
I didn't pay too much. I did pay attention to the game, but I didn't. Every time I looked on the screen, the Chiefs was on the field in the red zone. But yeah, it was just a tough Sunday for us. Yeah, and I know right now there's going to be a lot of questions, and we're going into the bye weekend. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a tough. It's going to be a long season. But I try to have, buddy. That's why I try to have some optimism going into the season. That's why I didn't want to shit talk because I knew that shit would go bite us in the ass. Until we start winning, then I could start talking shit. But right now, I'm just having fun with it. But it's a good thing that Marcus is cool because I know he don't talk too much shit.
Hey, man, a lot of football to still be played. There's a long way to still go. And yeah, you see, Marcus hasn't chirped. Marcus could come in here like, oh yeah, we put belt to ass, but like he knows it's the expectation. It's just the Raiders. It's just the Raiders. That's his mindset.
Saving it for the right
time. Take care of business. That's
act like you've been there before. Act like you've been there before.
Exactly.
We've seen it all. We've seen
respect.
It all.
Respect to Marcus.
I mean, the NFL ain't slick. They try to make them lose 2 games just to make it seem, that. And then they come right back around and they start winning. There was some questionable calls, but at the end of the day, we fucking suck. So it didn't really matter.
Yeah, man, when you get blown out like 30-0, it's like, well, how much of that was really the refs, even if they were bad. But
they could have helped us out at least.
Yeah, they could have helped you get like 7 points on the board, make it look a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, is what it is. But guys, let's go ahead and let's get into these games. But before we do so, real quick, let's let the people know about these sponsors over at Sleeper. Use the promo code you see on the screen, RTS, and you'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. And right now, Sleeper is still updating the overall parlays and player props here. So right now, there is nothing for any of the teams here in the AFC West, but you can already get in on games such as Minnesota here. Actually, I think there is. You play the Vikings this week, right, Andrew?
Chargers play Vikings on Thursday Night Football. Yes,
they actually did just update this, so we do have. They're not giving us much here. They're not giving us much to work with, but they did just update this. What are you thinking about Ladd McConkey over or under 55.5 receiving yards?
Over.
You want to go over on that? All right.
Yeah, I think so.
What about Keenan Allen? He balled out this past week. Are you taking him anytime touchdown? That's a hard one.
Yeah.
You want to go anytime touchdown? Yeah. All right.
We're throwing the ball a lot. We don't have a running game. So, I mean, you got to throw the damn ball at this point. So
that's true. We know that Justin Herbert has that connection. And speaking of Justin Herbert, what do you think about 256.5 passing yards? Over or under that?
Over.
Ooh, over. Okay. I like that.
He threw for 450 versus the Colts. I think it was 4 something. What was it? Let's see.
The Colts also have a good defense too. Good secondary.
Yeah, 420 is what he threw. Yay, 420. That's
there you go, man.
Good jokes there. Plenty of jokes there.
That feels like an easy over. Well, guys, that is going to be our sleeper prop here for this week. So let us know what you guys are thinking in the comment section below and follow what we're doing over on Sleeper. All right, fellas, let's go ahead and let's get right into these games. And of course, we got to start off with the team that is at the top of the AFC West right now in the Denver Broncos. We previewed the game a little bit earlier on in today's episode, but the Denver Broncos come out with a massive fourth quarter win, 33-32 against the Giants. Rookie quarterback Jackson Dart sitting on the sideline, cannot believe it. 1 second, he's pumped up thinking that they won the game. He's screaming like a Karen out of grocery store. Next thing you know, he's down on the ground and can't believe his eyes. Ryan, how did you guys have this epic fourth quarter comeback?
I still have no idea. I was so speechless. And let me just rewind back. This was going to be one of the most depressing games I have ever seen, mostly because of multiple factors. So going back, I think it was after the show. I mean, it was probably Wednesday or Thursday. Jonathan Cooper got interviewed, said some things about Jackson Dart. Not even like bad things. It's just Giants fans are insanely delusional. I didn't know that. And they just started running with it and, shitting on the Broncos, starting all this beef. Beef got really bad where they started mocking the death of Demaryius Thomas, and because we were honoring Demaryius Thomas going to the Ring of Fame and the Super Bowl 50 team that day. So there was a whole lot of drama built up for this game. Broncos players started talking their crap. Broncos fans were talking their crap. So we're looking to put belt to ass on Jackson Dart. And then that is not what happened at all in the first three quarters. They went up 19-0. There's a blown coverage on the first touchdown. Defense was solid. I'll say this, for 19 points that they put up, the defense was solid. It's just the offense was so horrible. The defense was out there so often, giving this Giants team so many opportunities. That's the reason why they're out there so much, and they're actually able to get points up on the board. So I'm just thinking during the game, we are absolutely embarrassing the Super Bowl 50 team. We're absolutely embarrassing the legacy of Demaryius Thomas. I was streaming the game, and I said, if they don't score at the end of the third, I'm cutting off the stream. I cut off the stream. I refused to watch. I thought we were done. And then something clicked in this offense's head. I don't know if it was Sean's play calling, which was abysmal for three quarters. Let me just say that. Abysmal. He threw the most screen passes he's ever thrown in a game. That game. It was so awful. Just the decisions Sean was making and all the stupid little personnel packages that he wants to do. So what changed? Well, in the play calling, what could you see? We didn't have the luxury of time anymore, so Sean couldn't do all his dumbass personnel packages, so he had to keep the same receivers out there. Sutton, Mims, Franklin, those are the three. And then, obviously, Evan Ingram's out there as well, so he wasn't rotating guys so often. So that kind of shortened up the playbook, made him have to go more simple. It seemed like Bo liked that, and he just started firing it all over the place. And we had some help from the defense on a pick as well with Stranad around like the 5-minute mark. So that was a huge help to get us into easy red zone range. And then ultimately, the Giants blew it. The Giants just blew it. They handed it to us. The refs tried to hand it to the Giants. Let me just say this: Brad Allen is awful. I didn't know who he was before. Now I know who he is, and that's not a good thing. Brad Allen, by the way, this is not just me bitching about one ref for one game. His officiating crew was also the crew that blew that call with the Lions, with the offensive lineman coming in as like ineligible or eligible on that play that lost in the game, which got his crew suspended, or they weren't allowed to officiate any playoff games that year. So there's history with Brad Allen and his crew being garbage. Fire them. And he's being a little wuss now because Greenlaw verbally got into his face. That happens all the time. He didn't physically touch you or anything, and Greenlaw did that because Brad Allen shoved off Justin Stranad when they were celebrating. So Greenlaw saw that, defended his teammate, and obviously had some things to say about the calls. So officials tried to throw away the game for us, but the Broncos prevailed. Bo Nix has that clutch gene. I'm so happy we won because it made a day that we were honoring some of the most important players in Broncos history. It was going to be a terrible day, and they've done this before. They've blown it before, like when they honored Mike Shanahan and they lost to the Raiders a few years ago. And if you know the history, Mike Shanahan hates the Raiders and hated Al Davis. So still riding the high off the win, but there are so many questions with this offense and what's going on. The defense, they're fine, but now Dre Greenlaw got suspended for a game. Obviously, he's going to appeal it today or tomorrow. Hopefully, he just gets reduced to a fine. But it seems like the NFL is trying to set precedent with Greenlaw on those actions because no player has ever been given this treatment before of being suspended a full game for just verbally saying something to a ref right after a game.
Hey, man, you guys went out there and you played for Demaryius Thomas in his honor. Like you mentioned, didn't do for the first three quarters, but you locked in the fourth, and this was definitely a game for him. So much respect for that. Andrew, let's go on over to you. What were your thoughts about the epic comeback at Denver?
Yeah, man, I did the same thing as you, Ron. I thought it was over with. In fact, we were walking back from the game. James and I were at the game in LA, and we were actually watching it on our phone because we have NFL Sunday Ticket, and I was like, holy smokes, are they about to win this game? Are you joking me? But here's the thing, for Bronco fans, and I'll say this too, Ryan, like you guys should have lost the last 2 games. Like the Jets should have beat you with a field goal and you should have lost to the Giants, but you pulled it out. So good for you. But I think it says something interesting about the teams in the NFL this season. There's really no dominant team in the NFL. I feel like every team is still trying to search and figure out who they are. Chargers being another good example of that, right? Defense is just like a leaky sieve at this point, right? So I think it's gonna be a fascinating year. Bottom line, good win for you guys. But no team just seems like a well-oiled machine. I mean, I did see the Colts up close. They're looking pretty good so far. But I don't know. Bottom line, good win, but not a lot of great to come out of this. I guess it's exciting, but at the end of the day, I understand your frustrations there too, Ryan, as well too. And again, Samoan is here to give you free therapy. Okay, I know you're at the top, but he's still here to give you the therapy. So Samoan, you're probably next.
I'll just use him to remind myself how good it is right now that we're at the top. Things may not look good, but I'm like, it could always be worse.
That's true.
Wow, Samoan's got experience. The leader of BetterHelp. In fact, I went to BetterHelp the other day, just curious about what they offer, and I saw Samoan's face as a testimony. I was like, "Wow, shout out to Samoan, man!
Asking for a friend, no big
deal. Same time next year too, man.
Same time, same place. Man, Marcus, let's go down to you. What were your thoughts about the game?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the Giants were going to win. I was excited for a little bit. But it's just weird, man. So 7 games, 6 of the 7 games have been decided by 1 possession scoring games, which, as a Chiefs fan last year, every game like that was that like that for us. And so the Broncos are having, pretty much the luck of the draw so far. But looking at these games, these Broncos games, man, like Bo Nix for a half or 3/4 of every game, it's just like a struggle. And I wanted to look back to the last 15 before the fourth quarter of this past game. If you look back at the last 15 possessions for the Broncos going into the Jets game, 14 of those 15 possessions resulted in a punt, a turnover on downs, or a safety. Only one of those was a scoring drive, which is a field goal before the fourth quarter of this past game. So it's like it's nuts, man. And at some point, you're gonna run into a team that's gonna kind of put the hammer down on you early on. You're going to have to see Gardner Minshew in the fourth quarter hand the ball off because, there's not going to allow you to get back into the game. It's just, it's kind of nuts. And the bigger thing for me was, again, a game where your pass rush steps up, 4 sacks in this one. But Jackson Dart had his way with that defense. And just seeing some of these drives, the Theo Johnson one was ridiculous. The tips up in the air, that one, whatever. But before that, I mean, a lot of drives they were able to get down the field on you guys, and that was kind of a shock to me because, I think the Giants' offense, Darts is, this hot rook, but Wan'Dale Robinson, I mean, it's just it's not really a sexy offense, so to speak, and they were able to kind of move the ball on you guys pretty much all game outside of the Theo Johnson catch and outside the OPI or the PI at the end of the game. But for the most part, that was probably the more staggering thing to me was that. I mean, we've seen Bo Nix and the offense kind of stall out all throughout the game in many other games where a half of football not doing anything or 3/4 of the game not doing anything. But the defense kind of allowing Jackson Dart to kind of have his way against that team. And Denver, that was the thing that was kind of the more staggering thing to me. And that kind of made me feel better about, the Broncos when we do go up against the Broncos. Okay, like this defense isn't a vaunted defense as we thought, seeing Jackson Dart kind of do what he was doing against you guys. So, but yeah, a win is a win. And like I said, last year we had plenty of 1 possession games or that games decided by 1 possession. So I'm not going to knock you for that. Just the thing that stood out to me was the defense allowing Dart to kind of have his way. And again, another game where Bo Nix kind of does nothing until the fourth quarter.
Don't worry, the defense always steps up against the Chiefs all the time.
Yeah, I thought that with the Raiders, but I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Different year.
Yeah. I will say the one thing I noticed. So Alex Singleton's got to get benched. He is not good. Justin Strnad should be taking his starting spot, especially with Dre Greenlaw back. But I think they're trying to ease Greenlaw back in, and now he got suspended. But to your point that you're saying, one of the biggest flaws with this defense right now is covering tight ends. Right now, and that's typically what Strnad's doing, or not Strnad, Singleton over the middle. And he looks like a 31-year-old that tore his ACL last year. That's the least to say. He can't keep up with these guys. So that's if you guys want to attack that, that's where all offenses look like they're going is right at Singleton or I'm terrified for this Cowboys game. I know we'll talk about that, but Riley Moss as well. Like, I knew it. Just, you need a game to get blown. Call Riley Moss. A lot of people didn't like the call. I will say I could see how it was defensive pass interference, and he's going up against the archetype in George Pickens, the wide receiver archetype that burns him all the time, like a T. Higgins type of player. So I'm terrified for that.
Guy with some size and some speed.
Yeah.
Wow, that's certainly some room for concern. Simone, let's go down over to you. Wrap us up with this game. What were your thoughts? You got that unbiased perspective. I know you're in the division, but you're down bad. You know your fate. So you can kind of look back and be like, damn, I got no reason to love or hate your teams. So from an unbiased perspective, what was your kind of perspective of this team?
Yeah, I was pissed because, for 3 quarters, I was like, oh man, we're not the only ones getting our ass whipped today. And then I turn back around, and then they're driving down the field to potentially win the game. And I mean, crazy game. Shout out to the Broncos. I mean, hella lucky that they kicker missed 2 extra points, because it would have been a whole different game. But outside of that, they did their job, and that's something that, like, it's hella embarrassing to see a team like them, like, no matter how bad or good they were doing throughout the game. I know Ryan was stressing out. We were stressing out for 4 quarters, but to see that they scored 33 points in 1 quarter is crazy. And I mean, shout out to the Giants. They're a solid team, especially with the rookie quarterback, but they just let up and let the Broncos come back. Shout out to Cortland Sutton. I mean, when I seen the play where he got stopped at the 1 yard line, I was like, oh, damn, they really going to lose. Like, nothing's going their way. And then you see later on in the game that ricochet off of Cortland Sutton's hand to Troy Franklin. I was like, oh, shit, I feel like luck's on their side now. And just to see the momentum turn and to see them come back was huge. Kind of funny. I seen a quote from Sean Payton. Kind of reminded me of Ryan when he was like, he was hoping that Russell Wilson, that quarterback change would have happened after the game. And I thought that was funny, that whole thing with Russell Wilson and calling Sean Payton classless. But I think overall it was a great game for the Broncos, at least in the fourth quarter, to just not to sit there and just lose the game like the Raiders did. I mean, the Chiefs basically won the game at halftime, but it is what it is. But yeah, overall solid win for them, and hopefully before the trade deadline, we could bring Russell Wilson over here to Vegas, so he could have that game against the Broncos. But outside of that,
I want my lick back. I want it. I want it.
You know I'm down bad if you want Russell Wilson on your team.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I got so excited. Jackson Dart tweaked his ankle, and then Russ started warming up. Cameras were showing him. Like, yes.
They probably would have won the game.
Give him to me. And then they Jackson Dart stayed in. He was tough.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, let us know your thoughts about this game in the comment section below. Let's go ahead and let's transition on into the next one. That's not set up correctly. I don't know where are we. There we go. I don't know what that was about. Andrew, talk to me, man. I mean, 38-24. Let's give the credit where it is due. The Colts are playing as one of the best teams in football right now. I mean, they're the number 1 team in the AFC right now. So, I mean, look, let's not act like you lost by multiple possessions to the Miami Dolphins. No, you lost to a team that's one of the best teams in football. But nonetheless, these are the caliber of teams that you are going to have to beat once you get to the postseason, if you guys are going to make any type of run. So break down for me what happened in this game, and do you have any worry about the Chargers' ability to beat playoff caliber teams moving forward?
Yeah, no, I definitely do. And I'm going to speak definitely to the Charger fam. I know we got quite a few folks in the chat. So I'm going to give the Charger family the Bolt fam, a positive sandwich. And I'm going to give you some good, give you some bad, and give you some good, right? The good is we're going to get healthy offensively here pretty shortly, right? We're going to get, most likely Joe Alt back. I was hoping he's going to be back for this game. He will be back most likely on Thursday night versus the Vikings, and Trey Pipkins. I was hoping they'd be back for the Colts game, and you saw how abysmal our rushing game was because of that, right? It was a revolving door of offensive linemen that were getting hurt that game, and so it was pretty rough. Having said that, Justin Herbert threw for 420 yards. Folks, 420 yards. He was just slinging it. 55 attempts. He had a PFF grade of, I think, 93, which is not great, but, I mean, he was just dry humped up and down the field. I think he had, let me double check my notes on this. I think he had 34 pressures, 34 pressures. And guys, they weren't even putting hardly anybody on them. Right. I mean, it was just a 4-man rush for the most part. Right. So the offense is going to score. They were very inconsistent in the first half, much like the Broncos. Second half, they came out and balled. Right. They did well the second. We only scored 3 points the first half. And so, positive, the offense will be okay. The negative, the defense looked abysmal. I couldn't even believe how bad they looked the entire time. Now, you can make all claims about the Colts just being absolutely that good, but the defense was pretty bad. I mean, you had free runners all day long. I mean, there was nobody covering people. Nobody was passing off anybody. There were some communication problems. And really going back and listening to what Derwin James said after the game, he said, nobody's communicating. There's no discussions around who's taking who. And it just seems strange. I watched the Seahawks game last night, and I was amazed at how communicative the defense was to one another. Okay, let's do this. I'm doing this. You could tell that they were communicating with one another. You don't see that with the Chargers. So they've got to get that fixed. The defense right now is the problem, in my opinion. Justin Herbert's going to score points, right? He's going to score. You have too many weapons, even with a bad offensive line. You got Keenan Allen, Orlando Gatson blew that game up. The rookie 5th-round draft pick from Syracuse, absolutely incredible. I think it was 7 receptions for 164 yards and a touchdown. I mean, guys absolutely balled out. And so you're going to score points, but you got to get the defense back. Now, here's the final positive sandwich. Again, I do think Trey Pipkins and Joe Alt come back this week for the Vikings game. I guess they both could have played this week or last week versus the Colts. I think that would have been probably the difference maker, but they kept them out for one more week. So if they come back, I do think the offense will be better. But guys, bottom line, the injuries are going to help us on that offensive side of the ball. But that defense has just got to get fixed. So some good, but a lot of bad. That defense, I guess if anything, on one final thought is, at least you're going to, you can't get much worse, right? That was about as bad as showing. I mean, Derwin James was at the edge of tears, giving up almost 40 points. He was not happy. So hopefully they get together. There's some rumors about a team meeting and, the team just finally coming together and saying, hey, we got to fix this and get the ship going the right direction. So we'll see what plays out.
Certainly just got to get back on track. And a lot of times things like this come down to mental, right? But the good teams will look at a loss and they'll rebuild from it. They'll take away their weaknesses and realize this is where we have to start building up our strengths, right? This is our hole. How do we fix that hole? But bad teams are going to lose their first game and they're going to bend over. And right now, that's what the Chargers are doing. Apparently, they're also talking about, not the Chargers, this is neither here or there, but apparently they're talking about getting rid of the onside kick and adding a 4th and 15 instead, which, again, neither here or there, but I think that'd be a little bit too stupid. Patrick Mahomes is going to complete that in his sleep 10 out of 10 times. But
yes, he will.
Marcus, let's go down to you. What were your thoughts on this Chargers game?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything Andrew said right there. But what I thought was interesting, right? Everyone's talking about the Colts being this high-powered offense. And, I mean, so far this year, Jonathan Taylor is looking unreal. And obviously Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones is looking great. But look at their 4 scoring drives the Colts had. 5 plays 75 yards, 17 plays 70 yards, 8 plays 80 yards, 5 plays 73 yards. And then if you go back to the fourth quarter against the Dolphins, and again, this is the Colts. When you go back to the fourth quarter against the Dolphins last week, the Dolphins, as bad as they look, and that team's a complete and utter disaster, but that fourth quarter where the Dolphins drove down kind of at ease against the Chargers, I had the stats here. Their last 2 scoring drives for the Dolphins in that fourth quarter last week, 13 plays, 82 yards, 9 plays, 69 yards, both resulted in touchdowns. And so for me, going against the Chargers in week 1, seeing how great that defense looked, it's kind of interesting to see how everything's kind of, developing as the season goes along. And obviously week 1 Lombardi, Chargers had it. The first 3 weeks they had it. But looking like the last 2 weeks is just kind of interesting to see how things are changing. And honestly, I'll say this, Andrew, it looks like Christian Fulton might be headed out the door in Kansas City. So if you guys want him back, we'll take a conditional 5th-round pick or something for him, man.
Oh, Christian Fulton. We know him well. We know him well.
Simone, let's go on over to you.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts about the Chargers loss?
Trust me, Drew. I seen the Colts firsthand. They scored 40 on us, so I kind of seen this coming. But I didn't think that the Chargers were. Their defense was all bad. Now, granted, I will give props to your offense in the second half, definitely coming through. You guys' rookie tight end had over 150, which is crazy. Keenan Allen came alive, but I think the Colts are just starting to, show that they're a contending team this year. Crazy with Daniel Jones and even Jonathan Taylor. So, at the end of the day, it was just good to see the Chargers lose. At least we weren't the only ones that lost in the division. But yeah, just a crazy game in general.
Just a crazy game in general. Ryan, let's go on up to you. What were your thoughts about this loss that, hey, obviously also allowed you guys to squeeze there into first place?
I was keeping up with this game while I was watching our game, and I was incredibly terrified because we were making a comeback, and I was like, uh-oh, are the Chargers going to start to make a comeback? But you guys don't have Bo Nix, sorry, so you didn't make a comeback.
Oh, boy, here we go.
I'm just joking.
We'll keep Herbert.
Your defense, obviously your defense was the culprit of the reason why you guys lost. But, I mean, I still kind of came out feeling like, are you guys still going to continue to? I know Herbert, he put up a lot of yards. He had the stats looking there, but football is a whole team sport. But damn, man, when's it going to get going with Herbert there and everything? You know what I mean? He's playing good, but the team's just not there. And you brought in Harbaugh, and he's supposed to fix all this stuff. It's just what is going on. I mean, I'm not saying bail on Herbert, but I will say this, Pope may not be there for the 3 quarters, but he's there when we need him. When it's all right, dude. If you're gonna do anything now, now's the time. And it seems like Herbert's just kind of it's almost stat padding in a way. I don't know. I've never he's got the talent. I'll say that. It's just such a weird situation with him. I've never really seen it where I just don't have much faith in you guys to really do something when it comes postseason. Even though you have the quarterback that can perform, I just don't see it happening, if you know what I mean. But you guys have a lot of stuff to figure out with your injuries, defense, all that. I don't know. I just have this weird feeling with it's kind of like the Phillip Rivers situation and all of that. But yeah, that's where I'm at with the Chargers right now. I just don't know what's going on with you guys because your quarterback's playing really good. If Bo could look like that, I feel like we'd be a lot more dominant, but it's just so odd.
Yeah, you guys are stringing together the yards, right, Andrew? And then it's just you're getting down the field, but you're not putting up as many points as maybe you guys realistically should be. Yeah,
I think, you got to remember when we first started this podcast, beginning of the season, I said that the Chargers are the number 1 play action team in the NFL. We were last year. Greg Roman wants to run play action. Unfortunately, and I forgot to mention this, guys, the leading rusher for the Chargers was Justin Herbert for 31 yards.
Wow.
And so, I get what you're saying. I don't think it's a Herbert problem. I think it's a defensive problem more than an offensive problem. I mean, he pretty much carried the team the entire time. 34 pressures. Yeah. Guys, to put that into perspective, Josh Allen last year, the entire season had 81 pressures. He had 34 pressures in one game. So, and by the way, it was a 61% pressure rate. 61%. And they were rushing 4 most of the time. So, I mean, hell, us 4 probably could be better offensive linemen than the guys that are out there right now. I'm not even joking. I mean, it was pathetic. It's pathetic. So, I get it. I understand the argument around it. But now I will say this to your point about Justin Herbert specifically. He held the ball for, I think, 3.27 seconds on average. It's a lot.
I was watching some of it, and he was holding the ball quite a lot.
Too much. Yeah, and Daniel Jones was around 2.5. But he had all day. He was just playing patty cake.
He has a great O-line.
Yeah, that line's crazy. So again, put in perspective, I just hope that we get Joe Alt back and we get Pipkins back and we can just go back to running an offense that we want. Again, I also want to understate losing Najee Harris and also Marion Hampton has really affected that play action pass type of respect. They're not respecting the play action pass at all. They don't care. They're nah, they're not going to do anything with it, right? So then Herbert, we were behind. And by the way, I did forget one thing too. The final drive, we chewed up the stats. I was so pissed off. It was 24 plays. Oh, here, the 8th drive, down 2 scores, no sense of urgency, 21 play drive, 9 minutes, a little over 9-minute drive, and a turnover on downs. Guys, it was ridiculous. And I know partially why I think that happened. There was the offensive lineman, the right tackle was out, the left tackle was out, and then the right guard was out. So they were just, people kept getting hurt. And so they didn't know what protection scheme they were running. They didn't know what the snap count was. And I think they were just taking time to make sure people knew what they were doing on the line. But God, that was just ugly. I mean, you chew up that much clock and walk away with nothing, and you're down 2 scores. You needed 2 touchdowns at that time. So it was really frustrating not to see a sense of urgency at that point. But yeah, just an ugly game overall, man. I mean, a lot of bad to take away. Hopefully they can fix it against the Vikings. We'll see what happens.
Again, of course, we have that game to preview in just a couple of short minutes here. Big shout out to Accelerator for a $5 donation. It says, we may finish last, but Samoan can still out-podcast any of you. LOL, just kidding. Y'all do a great job. But you're wrong. Lions are dominant despite the Chiefs' loss. Certainly fair. They played a great game this past week.
Accelerator.
Pablo comes in with a $2 donation and says, Andrew, is gut check time for Harbaugh's bolt bro. Oh, I don't know, man. Might be, Andrew. Might be time to start looking inward and saying, maybe you, the Bolt Bros, have to go down there and meet with the front office yourselves and say, look, it's really hard to do a podcast about the team when you guys are inconsistent. And maybe that'll be what turns the team around, Andrew. There's only one way to find out. And that's by going down there. But guys, we still got one more game. Got one more game to talk about here before we get into week 8. And we got to talk about the Chiefs. We got to talk about the Raiders. I feel like the score probably says pretty much everything you need to know about this game, 31-0. Let's start off with the winner. Marcus, how were you guys able to get back on track and remain this dominant?
Man, this is so I had to do 2 live shows right after this game, and this was really tough to talk about because this is like a preseason game. That's what it felt like. That's really what it felt like. And I'm not throwing shade. I'm not throwing shade. It felt like a preseason game. I was like, oh man, it's like, can this game be over already? And this is awful to watch. And like in fantasy implications, if you had any fantasy players, I mean, I was done because third quarter Mahomes put the baseball cap on. I mean, you only see that stuff in games like this, and the fact that 31-0. I mean, we called the dogs off pretty early in that game. I mean, this is the end of the third quarter when Mahomes.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, and I'll say that it was pretty respectable for both teams. Carroll and Andy Reid, they pretty much that whole fourth quarter was they just ran the ball. No timeouts were called. They just want to get the heck out of Dodge. So yeah, that's 2 veteran coaches who just want understand it. Get out of the game without any injuries. As fast as they could, and they both did. But I mean, the stats are pretty staggering. I'll kind of go over some of them here. So the Raiders ran 30 plays. The Chiefs had 31 points. The Raiders had 30 plays. The Chiefs 77 plays in that game. The Raiders had 3 first downs. The Chiefs had 30 first downs in the game. The Raiders were 0 for 7 on third down in the game. Staggering 17 minutes and 52 seconds of possession. I mean, you watch any game this past weekend, most teams have that in the first half of games. The fact they have that in a full game is pretty wild. 434 total yards to 95 total yards in this game. It's rough, just a rough game. The last time a team had 3 first downs in a game was the Raiders in 2008. So it's just continues, man. From the Bill Callahan days to now, it just continues, man. I honestly, like, I have an older brother who is a Raiders fan. And usually I get like bombarded with text during the game, trolling when it's like a close game in the beginning. I didn't get anything from him at all. It was just like complete silence. It's one of those things. I'm happy we won. I'm happy we dominated, but like at the same time, it's like this is a rivalry. It's one of the best rivalries in NFL history, and like the fact that we're at this point right now, 31-0, and like it's just as bad as it looked. Usually Raiders come up for this game, and they had no pulse after that first drive they had. And also at the end of the game, you see Andy Reid and Pete Carroll kind of had like a long like talk at midfield. So I'm sure it was like, look, man, I got a lot to clean up here, and it's like I felt bad, honestly. But I'll just talk about the Chiefs for a second. 2 30-point games back to back, first time in the Mahomes era since 2022. So it's been a couple of years since we've had back-to-back 30-point performances. And when you look at the total stats from the Chiefs in this game, you look at like what I just read off. It was the first time in a while where you saw defensively and offensively playing at an elite level in back-to-back weeks. So back-to-back weeks of both sides of the ball playing at elite levels. It was like when our offense in the beginning of the Kelsey and Tyreek Hill days, it was, our offense is great, but as long as the defense can get some stops, we'll be okay. And then the offense, when we traded Tyreek Hill, became more of a defensive team where the offense just had to like kind of manage the game through, and we would, we'd win. But now we're seeing the defense dominating and also the offense dominating at the same time. It's awesome to see because it's always been one of those things where like, man, if both sides of the field can just click at the same time, we're going to be unreal. And look at the stats right now. The defense is a top 3 scoring defense in the league right now, allowing 17.7 points per game. And the offense, top 6 scoring offense in the league right now. And a bunch of advanced metrics have us as a top 2 offense right now. And, we talk about Mahomes being the front runner for MVP. I mean, it's honestly awesome. 9 different pass catchers in this game. 7 of the pass catchers had 28 or more yards receiving in this game. So, yeah, Rashee Rice came back, opened things up. He had 2 touchdowns himself, 10 targets. But everyone, like I mentioned last week, everybody's got to eat. Everyone ate this weekend. Hollywood Brown had a touchdown. Kelsey had a long catch at the beginning of the game. Tyquan Thornton bomb. Xavier Worthy just made plays all over the field. So it's like just kind of this collection of sorts, and everyone's kind of contributing. Brashard Smith, I know our run game's still like kind of meh, but like we have 3 guys who do different things. Kareem Hunt's probably one of the best short yardage running backs in the league, and then you have Brashard Smith kind of being one of the best like dynamic pass catchers out of the backfield in the league already as a rookie. So like everything's coming together. I know it's the Raiders. Everyone's gonna say, "Oh, it's the Raiders," but like you guys know what it is. Division games are usually close, no matter how bad teams are. And this one kind of just shows you, like, we dominate the Lions, who everyone had as their NFC favorites, dominate them. Then the next week, we do this to our divisional opponent. It's a lot to love in this game, but also at the same time, I did feel bad for Raiders fans. So Samoa and
thank you. We appreciate that.
I'm sorry that you had to sit through that game. And if I thought it was boring in that fourth quarter, I can imagine what you thought throughout the entire game.
Well, he was too busy on the bouncy castles and the Let's go over to the loser. Let's go over to the loser, Samoan. All right. I don't really know what all there is that you want to say about this game, but I mean, from your point of view, while you were on, the bouncy castles and having a good time, eating some good food, when you were scanning over to look at the score now and then, what were your thoughts?
Well, I felt like Halloween came early because it felt like I was watching a scary movie, watching the Chiefs drive down the field every single drive. But, it must be nice for Marcus to, enjoy a Sunday, not really having to worry about much. But us, on the other hand, it was stressful, embarrassing. And, like I said, I thought that this team could be at least competitive, even if we know we were going to lose and whatnot. But, Marcus kind of just took all my points that I had with all the stats that came out. But, yeah, we only had 30 plays of offense, which is I feel like high school teams could do better than that. But I guess one stat that he didn't say was the Raiders are the second team since 1950 to run 30 plays or fewer offensively in a game, which at least we broke a record, right? But not having 100 yards was kind of crazy. And this just goes back to the fact that, I love Pete Carroll, but I just feel like he kind of gets his ego gets in the way a little bit because he still continues to defend Geno Smith for some reason. He continues to start him, expecting something different. But I feel like moving forward, the Raiders definitely have to make a change at quarterback. And I know it doesn't all fall on the quarterback's shoulder, right? But we just got to put somebody. I don't care. He's played so bad that Raider fans actually want Aiden O'Connell back. And to me, I'm like, shit, I don't think it could be any worse, right? So, of course, we're going into a bye week, and I feel like we still would lose to the bye week. I don't know how, but, this game was just embarrassing overall because it felt like it was over before it even started. And it was so bad that even Gardner Minshew came in the game, and they were just kind of chilling. They kneeled the ball before the 2-minute warning. They should have kneeled the ball at halftime, and I think it would have still been the same results, but I think the Raiders need to do something. I don't know what they got to do, but like this game just shows that we're just not ready, or something's got to change.
No.
Yeah. Now something's got to change. I felt like we. And the crazy thing is, I'm gonna talk like this right now, but after the bye week, I'm still gonna feel like we have a chance at least turning it all around. But there's nothing more I can say about this game other than it was just embarrassing. We couldn't do anything offensively, defensively. It is what it is. Max Crosby went down, but at least bright side is it wasn't anything crazy. They just wanted to keep him out the game because there was no reason to put him in the game at that point. But I mean, heck, it was even worse because Chris Jones was chilling on the sideline, just drinking, having a good time, and I felt like Raider fans were just drinking on the sideline as well. But like I said, just an embarrassing showing.
The fact that you guys put more of a fight with Zamir White and Aiden O'Connell in years past, I just like it's crazy. I mean, you guys literally won a game without completing a pass in the second half of a game with a worse team, I would say, as far as roster collection wise. Yeah. And then what you guys have right now, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
It was so bad. I feel like Taylor Swift could have suited up and scored on us too, but
probably Simone, man. Me and you probably got hopped in there and probably done a better job. But let's go up and let's quickly get the thoughts of Ryan and Andrew before we quickly get into these previews for Week 8. Ryan, let's go on up to you.
I think I predicted exactly this. I said you guys are gonna get your ass whooped, and I'll say this. Looking back at the offseason moves when they were made and everything, I was a little bit intimidated by the Raiders because I was like, okay, well, Pete Carroll's never been that bad. He's never been that bad, really. Like historically, Geno Smith, we lost some games to him, so I was like, he's never been extremely terrible, but something in that water in that Raiders facility in the stadium, dude, made them much worse than I've ever seen them. So I'm very happy about that. Regarding the Chiefs, though, Rashee Rice is back. They look good. Their offense looks very good. So they're going to be definitely competing with us. Like for that top spot, probably take it if I'm completely honest. And let's just be honest here. Their offense is performing good. My offense isn't performing good. So just some basic evaluation there. And then Chargers. I mean, we'll see. We'll see with those injuries. They could make a little comeback. They're not. No one's really out of it in terms of us three teams.
Yeah,
Raiders.
True,
you guys
are
not
out of it yet.
You're out of it. You're out of it. Start those mock drafts. Start playing in that draft party and all of that. You guys, for the sake of just our eyeballs in the AFC West, please go and get Shedeur Sanders or something and at least make this a little bit entertaining, or someone else.
We'll get Russell Wilson. We'll make it entertaining for you guys.
Oh, boy.
Please. I'd love to see Russ with the Raiders. And I guarantee he's going to get shipped off because they don't want him there in New York. Get rid of him. You have Jameis Winston. What's the point of having Russ over here now? And I think it's absolutely hilarious that Sean Payton was able to make him break character and make him say some garbage now, which is hilarious.
On Twitter too, nothing like social media.
Russ has me blocked actually, which is a funny thing.
Ryan, I can't even tell you I'm surprised. I feel like that's such Ryan's trash and Russell Wilson.
There was a post. There was a post. It was on his birthday. It was on his birthday this past year.
Ryan, come on, man.
He was like, when he turned or something. He's like feeling like 25. And I said looking like 4. I said playing like 50 or something, and then he blocked me.
Well, you clearly saw it. Damn, right. What you had to say. But let's go ahead on over to Andrew. Andrew, wrap us up with this game.
Yeah, man. I just it was a beatdown. I mean, it is what it is, dude. Hey, Simone, love you to death, buddy. That's all I got to say.
I'll take it.
Hey, man, you'll take the love.
You're a great guy, man. I feel bad for you because you should, if you could go back in time, not even invest in Bitcoin, just change your team.
Exactly.
I love how we're not even talking about football. We're not even talking about football with the Raiders. We're just like, Samoan, man, keep your head up. You're a great guy.
Nothing. But you had fun with the plushies or whatever, right? So that was
good. Moving forward.
You had fun with the furry animals or something? Is that what it was?
It was fun. Was
it a petting zoo or what was that all about?
Painting and everything was cool.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, man, there you go. They're making up for the lack of a football team. But before we go in and we talk about these Week 8 games, real quick, want to let you guys know about RotoWire. You guys know RotoWire, but we're not talking about how you can dominate your fantasy leagues. Right now, we're talking about how you can make some extra cash. We're talking about the best player props. We're talking about parlays. And right now with RotoWire, they're going to tell you every single week players that you should take the over or under on depending on their props. So looking at Jordan Love here, Green Bay against Pittsburgh, they're saying to take the under of 250.5 passing yards. Carson Wentz, they're saying to take under 228.5 passing yards. And Jalen Waddle, they're saying to take the under on 67.5 receiving yards. If you guys want to make some extra money and make sure that you dominate your parlays, and player props, there's only one way to do so, and that's with RotoWire. Right now, when you guys use the code RTS, you will get 15% off. Link in bio. Fellas, let's go ahead and let's start talking here about Week 8. As always, if it's your team, keep it about 2 minutes or so. If you're previewing another team, try to keep it within a minute. Let's start here with this first game. Ryan, we heard you talk about it a little bit earlier. You got your Denver Broncos playing the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, we talked about MVP earlier. Dak Prescott, I really think, should be a part of that conversation. He's playing great football right now. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting game. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we don't get blown out. But in regards to some latest updates, Dre Greenlaw's suspension just got upheld. So the NFL are assholes, and they're trying to make an example out of him. Can't even just say anything now in the NFL, I guess. Like you didn't even say it publicly. You kept it on the field, and whatever, man. It is what it is. Defense is still very good, but I am pretty terrified in terms of Riley Moss, that matchup, and I maybe I'd have more faith if our offense was performing well. So, but I do know that it's Jim Nance's team that's going to be calling the game. So it's going to be why a lot of people are going to be seeing it. It's a highly anticipated matchup, but we haven't lost to the Cowboys in a long time. Usually we always beat them, or we have like a comeback game against them. And we win pretty handedly. So these games against the Cowboys are always fun to watch, and we're also wearing our throwback uniforms, and we haven't lost in those yet, I believe. So my mind is kind of telling me that the Cowboys are going to win, but my heart, I'm going with the Broncos, just because, those uniforms, we haven't lost in them, and it's another home game. So, and hopefully they can carry that momentum and just get this offense fixed. But I do have my doubt because Sean Payton, if he keeps calling this bullshit, man, he's just trying, I don't know what he's doing. And I think everybody started to fold, even the analysts on X, or the X analysts, the fans on there, and they're saying, oh, it's not Sean Payton's play calling this issue. Even everybody was like, yeah, he needs to drop it for a game. And Sean said, nope, we're comfortable with our operation when he was asked about it. So no hope there for any change. He's just going to force Bo. You're going to do what I give you, or we're just going to suck. So, yeah.
All right. Ryan's going to be taking his Denver Broncos, although maybe doesn't feel the best about it, but he's going to roll here with his heart. Andrew, let's go on over to you. Are you going to take the Denver Broncos or the Dallas Cowboys?
Man, this is a tough one. I don't know, dude. This year has been weird to me. I said it earlier, is I feel like a lot of these teams just don't know who they are yet. I will say this: the Cowboys are putting up points, right? And I saw the Commanders beat us. Cowboys it was 44-22 versus the Commanders. If the Cowboys can stay as hot, I think they'll beat the Broncos. So I'm gonna pick the Cowboys at this point. But man, Denver's defense looks good. But you're right, Ryan. Though the offense looks a little all over the place, and Sean Payton is a cocky bastard, so he probably will never let anybody make any play calls. So. But bottom line, I'm going to go Cowboys really short, maybe by 1 or 2. I think it'll be a close game.
All right. We got Andrew taking the Dallas Cowboys. Let's go down to Marcus. Marcus, who are you taking?
So Cowboys are a 3.5-point dog. It's about 50-50 right now. Public is kind of split. Public and the pros are kind of split on this game. I'm gonna go, man. Cowboys. It's two extremes, right? Cowboys have a really good offense, like the top 2 scoring offense, and then their defense is one of the bottom 3 scoring defense. So this could be a game where the Broncos could have a get right spot for their offense, but like we thought was going to happen against the Jets, against that atrocious defense, that did not happen. But I think if the Cowboys can get a couple stops, based on the way the Broncos defense looked last week against the Giants. I think Dak and the boys could, with Lamb and Pickens being back, man, and Ferguson. They have so many weapons on the team, and Javonte Williams' revenge game, baby. He's got something to prove against the Broncos. So yeah, I'll go Dallas to win this game.
Ooh, all right. We got 2 Dallas here back to back. Right now, Ryan, the only one taking his squad. Samoan, are you going to make Ryan the only one taking Denver?
Well, yeah, it's going to be, like everybody said, it's going to be a tough matchup. Both teams got momentum, and of course, Cowboys offensively have been dominant, and then, of course, the Broncos defense has been keeping them in games. And, offensively, even though they struggle throughout a half or even 3/4 of a game, they always seem to turn it on when it matters most. But I feel like with the home field advantage and, just a strong defense and some momentum on their side, I got the Broncos winning this one.
Yes, sir.
Samoan's got the Broncos winning this one. So we got Ryan and Samoan taking Denver. We got Andrew and Marcus taking the Dallas Cowboys. Only time is going to tell what side is right and what side is wrong. But you guys let us know about your thoughts on these games in the comment section below. Let's transition on into this next one because, Andrew, your Chargers are taking on the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings, who are 3-3, of course. Your Chargers are 4-3. What are your thoughts on this one?
Man, it's going to be an interesting one. Carson Wentz is going to be the QB, as I understand. Of course, J.J. McCarthy wasn't looking good to begin with, so Carson Wentz, I mean, actually might be an upgrade over J.J. McCarthy. But, you know, they struggled with the Eagles. Eagles beat them pretty soundly, 28-22. I mean, I wouldn't say soundly, but, you know, the Eagles got a get-right game with the Vikings. You know, this is at home. By the way, here's another. If you're superstitious at all, Charger fans, we are 0-7 in the all-Navy jerseys, and we are wearing all-Navy jerseys this week. So something's telling me this. Man, it's gonna be a tough one. I think we win by a field goal, though. I just think we got embarrassed last week, and the Chargers just gonna get right and play angry this week. So I'm going with my gut, and that's about it. I think the Chargers beat the Vikings this week in SoFi.
All right, let's see. Let's go on over to the rest of the panel. Marcus, let's go down to you. What squad are you taking?
Man, I mean, the Vikings had their shot against the Eagles last week. I mean, TJ Hawkinson's still pissed off about the refs telling him on the field that he scored it, but New York called in and said he did not score the touchdown. Yeah, I mean, this game, Carson Wentz sucks. I mean, he's so bad. It's awful to watch. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Chargers here, but it's a funky line, 3 points. It would have been interesting to see J.J. McCarthy against his old coach. That would have been cool, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, your defense, I mean, looked really leaky last week, and I mean, Carson Wentz blows, but they do have Jefferson, and yeah, man, I'll go Chargers in this one. Yeah, 70% of the money is on the Chargers, but I think in a short week at home, I'll take Chargers over Minnesota.
One thing I forgot to say too, before everyone else talks, is Joe Alt and Trey Pipkins should be back for the offensive line, so we should be week 1 healthy on the offensive line, which would be very welcomed. So, yeah.
That would be absolutely huge for you guys. Well, right now we got both guys, and Andrew and Marcus, taking the Chargers. Let's go on over to you, Simone. You also going to take the Chargers?
Well, yeah, I was gonna bring up that point, like Andrew said. You know, just getting their some key injuries back, some key playmakers back from injury is gonna be huge, especially at home. And I mean, we know that the Chargers, they can put up points offensively, especially if Justin Herbert has time. So that, as well as, you know, the injuries to the Vikings and having Carson Wentz start in a short week, I think it's going to be a tough matchup for them. So overall, I think I got the Chargers winning this one. It could be close, though.
All right, Ryan, we know that you love to take the upset. Are you going to do that here?
No, I'm taking the Chargers. I don't see them dropping to 4-4 and going down that bad. And I don't really have much faith in Carson Wentz either. And like you said, you guys are going to be getting some guys back. And I think Herbert can carry them in this game and put up enough offensively to help that defense out. But ultimately, yeah, it's going to see how well your defense holds up against, you know, Jay Jettas and that offense, because Kevin O'Connell still is an offensive mastermind, and he can do with what he has for a little bit, small amount of time in Carson Wentz. But yeah, I'm going to take the Chargers on this one.
I'm not even sure Carson Wentz's team believes in him at this point based off of what he's seen on the field over the last, you know, couple of weeks here. But let us know your guys' thoughts on this game in the comment section below. And let's go ahead and let's get into this final game, because obviously, Simone, your Raiders are on a bye week, so no game this week. Yeah, there you go. You can't lose this week, Simone, baby. That's a win. That's what we call a moral victory right there, man. That's what I like to see. You're going to be coming back next week with a smile on your face, man. Can't wait. But Marcus, you guys are playing the Washington Commanders. Feels like this is a team that's maybe taken a step back. Obviously very riddled with injuries also. Nonetheless, a team that you cannot overlook. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, so they have kind of a mixed bag of injuries on that side. I mean, the only injury we have is our rookie defensive tackle out for the season, torn ACL. So we're going to figure out that situation out, the rotation there. Josh Simmons still not back yet, still out for personal reasons. But Jalen Moore has looked phenomenal at the left tackle spot. Trey Smith left the game early with back spasms, lower back spasms. He should be good for this game. I think it was a matter of fact of, we're dominating this team. There's no need to bring him back in if he's got back spasms, whatever. I mean, 31-0. I mean, yeah, the way that game was trending, there was no need to kind of put our guys who were like kind of dealing with some nagging injuries. But on their side of the ball, you got Jaden Daniels. The hamstring injury wasn't as severe as they thought, but still questioned as if he'll play on Monday. They have an extra day to prepare for that game. Doris Armstrong, their leading pass rusher, is out for the season for the Commanders, so that hurts them. But Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel are going to practice in full this week, so that's a big. I mean, if they don't have Daniels, at least Mariota will have those guys to throw to. All that to say, Chiefs are a 10-point favorite. Redskins, Commanders, Washington football team, whatever you want to say, they have not beaten the Chiefs since 1983. 1983 was the last time when John Riggins and Joe Theismann were back. There was the last time the Commanders or the Washington football team beat the Chiefs. It's in Kansas City on prime time. I'll take Mahomes to win by double digits. So yeah, I'll take the Chiefs here and to win big.
1983. Damn it, Marcus, you just have every stat in the back of your head. I don't know where you find these things, man, but this guy's like a damn thesaurus. It's absolutely crazy, man. That's crazy. 1983. Simone, let's go on over to you. What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, this one, I think with Kansas City really turning the tide at this point of the season and seeing how well they play offensively, defensively, and they got all their weapons back, even with Jaden Daniels, whether he does play or not, I think Marcus Mariota should be okay, as far as running the offense for the Commanders. But yeah, I got the Chiefs winning this one big time. I mean, we just seen them dog walk us, so I don't know how I would choose the other side for now.
You just sound a little depressed in the voice, man. It's just, but
respect.
You know what?
Win again, man.
It's all right. There were hard words to say, but you're real with yourself, and I have a lot of respect for you for it. Ryan, let's go up to you. What are your thoughts?
I'm gonna take the Chiefs on this game. I don't know really what's going on with the Commanders. I've been keeping up with them a bit, but I didn't know that they're 3-4. I know Jaden Daniels was out for some games and stuff like that, and he's had some injury issues. But Chiefs are rolling, man, and I don't know how much longer we're going to be at the top of the AFC West. It could end after this week. I don't know if it'll work out like that with tiebreakers and all that stuff, but possible if we lose against the Cowboys. But yeah, as much as I'd love to see the Chiefs lose, like the rest of us, besides Marcus. But the Chiefs look very, very good. And I'm very careful to talk crap on the Chiefs. I will when we actually play you guys, but got to respect you guys until we take over, or if we ever take over. Sean, get your shit together. But yeah, taking the Chiefs with this one.
Taking the Chiefs. All right, Andrew. I feel like I know where you're gonna go with this. Are you gonna make it 4 out of 4 Chiefs?
Underdogs.
Oh boy. Oh, it's the Chiefs, man. I mean, I want to say the Commanders. I mean, I'd love to see the Chiefs get humbled, but man, dude, the Chiefs are just rolling right now. They look good. So gotta go with the hot hand, man. I mean, and it's in Arrowhead, right? So yeah, Chiefs.
All right. Andrew is also going to take the Chiefs, and this is where we kick it off to you guys. What are your thoughts about these Week 8 games? What are your predictions? Let us know in the comment section below. Want to get into the remainder of these super chats before we do log off? We only got one more to get into. Richie Fresh, our guy from the AFC East Roundtable, longtime Bills fan, says blowing out the Raiders is easy and child's play for the Chiefs. The two real teams are going to battle in Orchard Park in less than 2 weeks. Sorry, Colby. Respect Marcus. Look, let's just be honest about the Buffalo Bills. Drake May is your daddy, okay? Drake May is in Orchard Park and beat you guys in prime time when you won 15 straight.
There we go.
The Patriots are the only team in the AFC East that have beat a good team. The Buffalo Bills have not beat a good team. So look, that'll be a good game. That'll be a good game. Respect to the Bills, but let's
y'all lucky y'all not playing us.
And Bijan Robinson slapped him around a little bit too at Raffy.
Dude, Bijan Robinson, dude, Isaiah Pacheco might go for like 200 all-purpose yards. That is like the worst run defense in the NFL. That is a gaping hole for Buffalo.
I don't know about that.
Isaiah Pacheco, come out, game. Come on, Marcus.
I don't think so. Isaiah. I think we're just gonna throw the ball like we normally do, regardless of
Patrick Mahomes over on the rushing yards, 100 yards on the ground. Just wait for it. I'm calling it here now, but guys. This is where we kick it off to you guys. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comment section below. At the end of the day, it's all love, and we appreciate you guys for supporting each of these individual creators and everybody here, and not just the AFC West Roundtable, but everybody here at Roundtable Sports. As always, want to give love to these guys for killing it, not just here every single week, but freaking killing it on their channels every single week. Also, producing the best content for their teams. Please, please, please don't just support them here on the AFC West Roundtable, but please go support their individual channels and let them know that you are coming and found them here from Roundtable Sports. Links to their channels in the description box below. We got one more from Richie Fresh coming in here before we log out. It's a $10 donation, man. So we can't go past it. He said Chiefs are winning by at least 13 points. Sets up for Bills and Chiefs in 2 weeks. Both will be at 5 wins. Drake may having a cute moment. We will reign supreme. Reminder, Bills went 4-2 last year. How'd that work out? Well, you also didn't have the New England Patriots competing for the division, and you didn't have Drake May playing at an MVP level. So it's a bit of a different circumstance. Y'all should probably figure out your run defense, Richie Fresh, because right now teams are just going to run on you all day long. I mean, if the Atlanta Falcons can beat you, the Patriots can beat you, I'd be a little bit worried if I'm a Buffalo Bills fan right now. But hey, Marcus, don't worry, because even if the Buffalo Bills find a way to beat you in the regular season, I mean, hey, Richie Fresh said it himself. Let's look at history. You guys will just spank them in the postseason anyway. Exactly. Hey, talking about history. But guys, like I said, all fun. Leave a like on your way out. Subscribe here to the AFC West Roundtable, and we will see you guys next week.
Roundtable Sports Network is your one-stop shop for all things NFL, with daily live shows covering all 8 divisions in the league, hosted by the best content creators on the web, all on one network. Catch the AFC East live every Monday at 7 p.m. and on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. The AFC North Roundtable live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. The AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. The NFC East Roundtable live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. The NFC West Roundtable live at 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. The NFC North Roundtable is at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, and the NFC South Roundtable is live Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST. And of course, fourth and forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network, covering all things NFL at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. Real coverage, real fans.